Good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Strategy Guide Reviews Book of the Month Club. My name is Ross Polly. I'm currently enjoying a shock top Belgian white, because I only drink Belgian white. I only drink... Okay, this time it's a second six-pack. Okay, it's not the same.
All right. Woo.
Joining us, above me, is Carrie Honey.
Yay.
Carrie, what are you drinking?
Pinky's out. I'm drinking a coffee because I think I'm still hungover from last week.
Well, all right then.
Does it have Kahlua in it?
No, we don't have any hard liquor in the house except for whiskey, and I'm not a whiskey drinker.
Couldn't make an exception for us?
No. Oh, God, no.
Fair
Whiskey and I are not friends. We don't get along.
Aww. Over in the corner is Christopher Nitz!
Yay!
Chris, what are you drinking?
Captain and Coke, actually. Because I am in this glorious town of Buckville, Nebraska, where the only thing that you can do is, there's cornfields. And, there was a combine fork out on a dirt road that is for sale.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You went to Walmart the other day.
I did go to Walmart yesterday.
He needed to experience some culture.
So since you're in Nebraska, the only thing you can drink is rum. You only drink rum when you're in Colorado and Wisconsin and Iowa and
they
Michigan
they don't really have crack in here. It's too high class for them. They have Captain, and they, you know what they have for beer selections? Oh, by the way, just so everybody knows, I'm intentionally looking down because staring at a black screen this entire podcast isn't going to work out because my camera's up here. So I'm just going to stare at Blake. I'm going to judge him this entire...
Don't worry, I'm doing the exact same thing.
I am judging you this entire podcast.
What's new? Are you fucking kidding me? This is every week.
Yeah.
Every time that we've ever done this.
You go to buy
doing
beer,
the same thing.
You know what I can buy for beer? Some Bud.
Sweet.
If I want to high class it up, there's some MGD.
Yeah.
Going for the high life?
So, Blake, what are you doing? Like PBR, Milwaukee's Best? What are you...
Two-hearted, you motherfucker.
India piss water, I guess. It's just right out of the river.
It's not IPW, it's an IPA. Come on. Get it right. God, man. It's delicious. This is the first beer that I've had since we last recorded. And oh, God, it's glorious. Oh, I miss it.
Fuck, do you want a medal?
Yeah, I was like, God.
I really do. No, I want a beer. And I shall...
God, I want a margarita. Next time we do this, remind me to get a margarita.
Hey, I had margaritas before.
Frozen margarita.
Or are you going to sit there and drink one out of a pouch?
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
For the alcoholic on the go.
I don't live in Texas. We don't have drive-through liquor stores. I can't pull up to a Starbucks and say, "Give me some margaritas or daiquiris and a picture to go."
I don't think
what
you can do that at Starbucks. Yeah,
the Texas Starbucks.
I haven't been to that one.
Yeah, you go through that, and then you go through Wendy's and get a burger and a gun.
God. Alright.
Well, but you have to bypass the fries if you want to get the gun, though. It's an exchange.
Well, the fries aren't healthy.
Yeah, exactly. Come on now.
Those things will kill you.
America.
What are we doing? We are doing the Strategy Guide Book of the Month Club, so we have a book of the month chosen by Carrie. Carrie, explain yourself.
Dun dun dun.
I don't think I have an explanation, except that this game was funny. It's the Deadly Tower of Monsters. It's in Stop Giving Me That Look, Little Man. Published by Atlus. And it's a game that's set up like it's a DVD re-release of an old, really bad sci-fi B-rated film.
That
where
was
the
like
director's
recorded
giving
off of
commentary.
VHS. Yeah.
Huh?
And it looks like if you're using it under certain circumstances, it looks like it's been recorded off of a VHS.
Yes, well, you can put it in VHS or DVD mode, but I recommend the VHS, because especially when you skip cutscenes, it actually literally fast forward through it, which is pretty darn awesome.
You skipped cutscenes?
Well, if I died and had to replay one, sure.
Ross is so traumatized by this.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. He's like, come
on.
on.
A lot of work into that.
Yeah, he's like, man, he only had to watch that swamp monster sequence about 3 times, as opposed to the 20 times that I think I did. Fucking swamp monster.
Swamp monster.
Yeah, like if you were trying to do platforming over the water and you fell in and it looked like Swamp Thing kind of reached up and grabbed you, or the Loch Ness Monster or something, it just kind of
I,
comes up
I
out of the
think
water.
I only fell in once.
Oh yeah, I did that a few times. It's just
You can
because
fall in the water?
yes, you can fall in the fucking water.
Very briefly.
Yes, yes, you can fall in the water. But anyway, so
I don't
Gary,
remember that in the DVD.
you original. That was the special edition, Ross. They went back in, they retconned it.
The bloopers, I didn't see that part.
No, they added it
Every
in
time
there.
you die, they're like, oh, this is the deleted scene.
Yep. Yeah. So you originally reviewed this on PS4 or PS3? You did it for PS.
I did it for PlayStation Lifestyle, and I
Okay.
reviewed it on PlayStation 4.
Okay. All right. And then you went through and did you end up finishing it on PS4? Or did you finish it on PC?
I only played it on PC for like 5 minutes. That's
Oh, you did?
That's a whole other story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If only we had time to talk about it.
The story with that is it was coming out. It was coming out on PS4, but they only had a PC code at the time,
Okay.
and so I was running it, and it was just awful. Like the way they moved was so janky. It was I couldn't see what I was doing. Like I died 10 times in that first opening sequence type
The
thing.
PC
which is,
controls were funky.
Well, I was using the controller.
Oh, you were. Okay.
Yeah, so I
Really?
didn't understand what's having all these problems. And then, like, after you defeated the King Kong thing that first time and you got the girl and you could teleport, it would lock up and crash at the teleport
Oh, jeez.
sequence. So, I asked Cameron, the reviews director, okay, can I talk to the PR guy? This is what's going on. And he's like, okay, let me see your system specs. I sent him to him. He's like, yeah, your graphics card doesn't even meet our minimums.
For a game that makes it look like it's old.
Yeah. To which I told Cameron, I'm not upgrading my PC for this shit. And he's like, no, of course you're not. And of course, then I did my infamous Facebook rant, which immediately brought down the PC Master Race upon me. Some people were very supportive. Other people called me an idiot. Love the internet.
Both
But
were right
then-
and both were wrong all at the same time.
But then Sean reminded me, he's like, because I was like, what is this thing over here? He goes, oh, that's that graphics card that you tried to buy like a year ago and it didn't fit your PC, so you bought a new PC and then you didn't need it. I'm like, oh, so we put that in and it magically works.
So it was actually an upgrade on the graphics card that you originally put in your machine.
Okay, so I had a PC last year that I was trying to run. I think it was Homeworld. It was either Homeworld or Pillars of Eternity, and my PC could not run it. And Chris, like, he did a diagnostic thing for me. He was like, no, this is not going to run it. Here, buy this graphics card. Got the graphics card. We could not install it into the PC. It just would not work. So I threw a temper tantrum, went to Best Buy, picked up a brand new PC, came back, and then I was able to play Pillars of Eternity or Homeworld.
It was Pillars.
So I just figured all was good. Everything was fine. Well, it turns, because it's an onboard thing, because it's a off-the-shelf PC, which
Sure.
apparently is very taboo in the PC world.
Only if
Okay.
you want to play games.
This fucking
Well,
guy.
I mean, Pillars of Eternity ran on it just fine, so I didn't understand why this piece of shit game couldn't run. And but I still
VHS
had
effects.
yes. So, but
The
I still
fully
had
rendered
that.
3D.
So I still had that graphics card that Chris had recommended. So I knew I was going to have to upgrade. I was pissed it's going to make another $200 upgrade to a PC I just bought,
Mhm.
but I already had the $200 upgrade. So, and then it's already outdated because it's a 750. I know the 980 just came out. So, but you know what? It's going to do for me for right now.
So it's a GTX?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, but then like right after I had all this, and people were telling me what I needed to do for my job.
Mhm.
That was my favorite part. Then the PS4 code came in. So then
Okay.
I started playing that. I was like, okay, so the controls aren't janky. That's not terrible. It's just my PC couldn't handle this.
Mhm.
So I was very glad that I did not review the game off the PC because I would have been like, this sucks, the end. But no, I never finished it. I was very, very close as I fired it up for the first time yesterday since I finished the game. In an hour and a half, I completed the game. I was like, well, son of a bitch, I could have done it. Because if you go straight through it, I think my final clock time was 6 hours.
Oh, okay. All right.
But if you look at like my trophy count, there is so much I have not done. There's so much opportunity for exploration as you find new abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, how far did any of y'all get? So I have a feeling no one else really played.
I did play it. I played it for about 3.5 hours, roughly. So I mean, I got a decent chunk of the game beaten.
How many characters have you unlocked?
3.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
all of them.
Is it? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So, yeah, because I was like, is this a test question? like
Well,
this
no.
is when they find out I'm a fraud.
You are a fraud.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously.
So what about you two?
Yeah, Ross, Chris. Now the excuses start. Here it is.
I got about an hour and a half in, and then I got sidetracked by all the other new shinies. I was
All the
actually
what?
going to play it while I was here, and then I tried to play it with a keyboard and mouse, and
Oh God. Yeah.
No.
All right. So
No.
let's touch on that.
That's not terrible. I was
Oh
like,
my God.
I was like, okay. Usually you can get like the third-person cover shooters. I'm like, okay, well, I can kind of make this work. This game, I was just like, the jumping, the platforming of it,
Oh,
which is just
God.
like, you could not like WA if it, like Q could do that diagonal thing for you, that'd be great. But it was just
Yeah.
not happening. I was like,
Well, I mean, it was supposed to look like a game out of the 1970s or 80s. Unfortunately, it also controlled like one.
oh,
It was awful.
Oh.
Just
Wow,
really
I
bad.
can't imagine trying it on, because even like the review guide that I got said, do not try to play this with a mouse and keyboard.
Well, I think even when you load it up, it's like we recommend a gamepad for this. And it's like, I understand that, but I left that shit at home. So
Right.
I'll try it with the keyboard, and I was like, I think I got a minute and a half into it. Was like, okay, no, this is not. This is
Yeah.
so.
See,
so-
I tried to make a go of it for nearly an hour with the keyboard because I'm like, you know what? They've got a PC control scheme. Let's just give it a try. And I was riding the struggle bus hardcore. It was real bad. It
Well,
was
my
real
struggle
bad.
bus crashed off
Yeah.
off Struggle Island, and that was
Yeah,
the
you
end.
drove it off a fucking cliff.
Yeah,
But yeah, so then the controller came out and suddenly things got much better.
yeah.
I
I was
played
actually
with the
I was actually
controller.
at the big attraction of this town, aka Walmart, and saw they had the Xbox One wireless controllers, and I realized that I could probably buy that and hook it up, and I was like, I do kind of want that right now, but
Do
I
you have
really
the station?
no.
I think there has to be a receiver station.
Well, I could also buy the wired controller, I'm sure. Again, then I could have 3
Yeah.
Xbox wired controllers.
Or you get a 360 wired controller.
Which would be much cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I was using to play it on my. If I had to use a controller on my PC, that's what I use.
But the 360 controller?
Uh-huh.
I do the same thing. And actually, when I remote play my my Xbox One sometimes from my office, like when I was working on my Plants vs Zombies review, I was playing it and I'm typing things up and I'm playing it with my Xbox 360 controller. That's when I go, wow, these are just the same fucking controller. It's almost exactly the same.
Well, yes, except for you don't have the start and back. You have
Right. You
I
have
don't
the
know,
two weird
and
menu-y
you
buttons.
have menu, and then I don't know what that is.
options.
Yeah.
No,
Something like that.
no,
Yeah.
because that's options. There's like options in like Windows. I don't even fucking know.
Mhm.
It doesn't make any sense. All right, Ross, what's your excuse?
Yeah, and how long did you play?
I played an hour, and my struggle bus went into the ocean, and I was playing with the controller the whole time. So you start fighting these like dinosaurs,
Yes.
and they're
Claymation dinosaurs.
yeah, they're
Stop
like
motion.
stop
God,
motion.
Yeah.
Right,
it's
yeah, that's
adorable.
hilarious, isn't it? My brain could not look at them. And I started feeling
What?
horrible.
What? There weren't enough particle
horrible.
effects for you?
Oh.
I got so sick looking at those things. I could not play the game.
Because it was a different frame rate, or it
Okay,
looked like
yeah.
a
It
different
looked
refresh.
so framey and horrible.
Oh
It-
It
my
does,
God.
but it was supposed to. It was supposed
and it's
to.
funny, but
But
oh,
no,
it was
no,
awful.
I could totally get that. I have a friend who gets motion sickness from certain bits.
Yeah.
From certain videos,
Normally-
especially cutscenes. Yeah.
normally I get it in first-person games, and I have to like adjust the field of view slider and stuff. But this is like the visual gag in the game.
And
And I
can't-
just-
Chris, you're getting a lot of mess on your line,
I-
like
there's
real bad.
Nothing I can do about it. I'm supposed to do.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh wow, that's way better. You should do
Whoa.
Okay, you guys, be
You're a
nice.
dick.
it. So,
Maybe move the angle up just a smidge. I don't know.
I don't think it's that.
I don't know.
Shorting
it's
out.
just the mic is going out.
Oh man.
But
I can,
yeah,
I can go bathroom style while you guys talk.
No. It's okay. You're good. It's good now.
just push. Yeah, he's pushing the cough button.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I couldn't play it. It was the writing was funny and stuff, but I wasn't having a ton of fun with the mechanics and just playing it, and just going forward made me sick. I couldn't finish it.
No,
Fair
no,
enough.
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
If
I can
I
see
had
that too.
been smarter about when I played it versus when I bought it, I would have refunded it immediately because
Really?
I could not play it.
Hmm.
It was
Oh,
funny.
Yeah.
And there's like that game never stops with it either. It's not like you could be like, if I just make it through this first portion of it, it goes away.
Yeah,
Right,
because
I got to the part where they say that they took over some other movie's set.
Oh yeah, where they're
Yeah.
sneaking on in the off hours to record different sets.
Yeah, so we got from the gorilla into that a little bit, and then I think I think the game crashed on me once, and I took a few minutes break and then came back into it later and played it for a little bit, hoping that my headache would go away, but I just couldn't do it.
No, I'm sorry. It makes me feel bad to recommend a game that made you
Oh
sick.
well, you couldn't have known
Yeah.
that.
No, but okay. At least now I know who not to recommend it to. It's to my friend who gets severe motion
Yeah.
sickness from like cutscenes that move really fast. She'll have to like look up, or she has to look away, or I think I was talking about Final Fantasy 13, and she was saying she's like, well, the worst cutscene in it is the one between chapter 12 and 13. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's the best cutscene. That's the most beautiful thing. She goes, yeah, it moves so fast I threw up.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, she can't handle when stuff moves really quickly. So, so it was a first-person shooter she can't play at all because it physically makes her
Yeah.
ill.
Well, somebody like that though, it makes you wonder if, because I've heard some stuff where people that play first-person shooters that have had problems with it, it's due to like the surroundings on screen not lining up with your physical body, like because you're taking a turn on screen, you're staying stationary, and so your brain gets all fuckered up with it. Makes you wonder if they would be capable of doing it using like VR, because it's actually moving in relation to your head.
I honestly don't know. She has worse vertigo than I do. I mean, so I think that's a lot to do with it. She just has this equilibrium off, and
Yeah, it's weird. I love roller coasters. I can read in the car, have no problems in planes. Went deep sea fishing, had no problems. But there's certain video games that I can't.
well, but
deal with
that's
at all.
okay. So like deep sea fishing and all that, that's actually literally affecting the fluid in your ears. Versus in the video games, it's your eyes not communicating properly with the brain, which is that happens.
Yeah, and the older I've gotten and the worse my eyesight has gotten, even though I have contacts in, sometimes looking at certain things just
Okay.
isn't.
Sean has that too sometimes with stuff. So I don't have contacts, so I mean I don't get motion sickness. I mean there are some things I like. Okay, like Portal. The first Portal game. I think it's one of the last Portal puzzles. The one where you have to slingshot yourself through stuff. I physically got sick doing that. And it was to the point I couldn't look anymore. I'm just like click, 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 click. I just got to get through this, and somehow I magically got through it because I decided like if I couldn't do it, I was gonna quit because it was making me physically ill. So that
Weird.
I mean I can understand, but it makes me sad because I think you really would have enjoyed this. It's if you guys don't mind me spoiling it
Sure, go for it.
a little bit. So when you get to you get to the third act and you get to this scene where all three characters stand and they're like this, and it's like, oh, it's like the movie is over. Although I'm thinking, yeah, but you didn't defeat like the big emperor, so how's the movie over? And so the director's talking like it's over, but then they keep on going, and he goes, what the hell is this? This is not my movie. He starts storming out, and then the guy who's like with him, Patrick, he's like, oh, he goes, well, the dumbass forgot that he filmed the fourth act to this movie. And so he just continued it. So it wasn't as funny because he would just be like, okay, this is dumb, or why'd they do this? And certain characters will come up and talk to them, and it make it sound like this is real life, like they're not in a movie, like it's real. And so they give you this artifact, this mysterious artifact that will defeat all the enemies, and the trick is to aim high. It's a pair of scissors, so you fling it and it cuts the wires and everything falls.
Oh, jeez.
So it starts to really break the fourth wall. And then the last mysterious artifact is a mirror, and makes you look into the mirror. It's like, no, look behind you. You see the set, like everybody behind you, like, who are those people? And the final boss, you basically have to break the fourth wall to get the mirror so you can see where the director is and jump over there, and you kill the director and make him rewrite the ending to the movie because they don't like the fact that he wrote it, that the emperor kills everybody. So, yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and so then, like, Patrick, he goes, I don't even know what to do with this anymore. It's like, he calls his boss, like, this is the dumb, like, during the credits roll, he's like, this is the worst audio commentary we've ever done. You guys got to get better clients than this. He just walked out, and they're like, yeah, well, just use whatever lines from the audio commentary you want to. He goes, really? Cool. And print.
That's awesome. Wow. Jeez.
But apparently there was a ton of hidden stuff that I didn't find, like, because I just went through it. I wasn't really exploring. Like, there's a ghost ship to find. There are set people that are locked in rooms, and you have to go unlock them and let them out. There's pages of missing script to find. Just
I punched one of the monkeys. I don't know if that's a thing. I just did it.
why not, you know?
Like, you can't punch most of them, but that one I could. And I got, like, it said, like, 1 of 3. Like, oh,
Really?
cool.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting how you leveled up, because you leveled up by completing missions, which were just random assignments. It was like, you know, shoot these bullseyes, fall through 20 hoops. It was so random.
And it seemed like you didn't really need to do any of them in order to progress. Like, there were times where it would make things easier, but I don't think there was ever anything that was walled off. Like, if you didn't do any of that side bullshit, you could still beat the game without it.
I leveled 4 times total,
Okay.
and it was mainly just because I needed the health so bad, because this game is very punishing. It, I mean, especially some of the mini boss fights were just crazy. They'd have like 4 things coming at you at once, and there's no reprieve, and you had to use all your different abilities and all these jumps and dodges out of the way, and of course no one drops any health whatsoever. And you kind of listen to the director. He's talking about, oh yeah, this one we kidnapped little puppies and put paper bags over them and vacuum cleaners, and look, instant monster.
Wow. Subtle. Jeez.
Yeah.
The one thing that I thought was just kind of and this, don't take this the wrong way, but I wonder if this was something where this was what they were trying to make the entire time, or if this was something where Atlus got handed a game that was a hodgepodge of different things, and they're like, how can we make this into something cohesive that people will actually buy?
Now, I think this is what this kind of crap is what Atlus does.
Oh, I mean, well, yeah, I realized that, but at the same time, it was just like some of this stuff was just so bizarre.
I think
if you could look
because
at
you had
Atlus's,
developers in a room that were like going over their favorite sci-fi movies of the 70s and just started to throw it all together.
I think if you look at Atlus's library, they have a diverse collection of games in their library. So everything that they've produced and they published. So to me, it fit right up in there with some of the other Atlus games that kind of all the weirdness that they have. So to me, it was
well. It certainly did fit the Atlus pedigree. No, I can't argue that. It really does. It's just like, it's like, well, so it's a weird, fringy, niche thing that has some odd appeal. Yeah, that's an Atlus game. I get that. But I just feel like maybe it wasn't quite this, but it was something where at the end Atlus goes, well, what if you did this? And they added like maybe the commentary piece was something that came last to kind of bring it all together.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know what this game is without the commentary piece.
Yeah.
Well, but that is true. That is true.
And that's what I said in my review, that what makes this game is the commentary, because you might laugh at the stop motion dinosaurs, but the way that he talks about how they used them, and then like, oh, I bet you recognize those trees from that other movie that I did, and oh, like that's an old movie trick that if you want to make sure that your star lives, you make him fall into a haystack, you know. Stuff
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think they had the idea to have the commentary piece and designed a game around that.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, just like things like what you were talking about, Ross, with the claymation dinosaurs and stuff like that. In order to do that inside of the game engine that they had, that would probably be more work than just designing a traditional 3D polygonal character. It would be so much more work. So
Well,
it's like,
no, you just have the polygonal character and then do half the animation you would.
no, but it looked completely different too. Like it had different textures than what you would get with like a standard 3D character model.
I don't know,
It looked
'cause I
like
couldn't
a
see them.
clay
There was like
type.
a hole in my screen where I can't look.
You're like, do not want to look there.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
To be based off of some stuff that I know from animation, it's actually pretty easy because you're just programming in those steps. So to do a claymation kind of thing like that is
I prefer like
relatively easy.
anime where they just have no animation and they're just like, ah, bruh. That's way better than.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be Atlus's next one.
I highly doubt that they're doing a sequel to this
Dragon
game.
Ball
might
Z
do like a-
9,000
I didn't say
times
sequel, I just
two.
said next game.
More like a One Punch game or something.
A one punch?
Yeah, that anime with the guy who beats everybody in one punch.
I don't know.
Are you not in with the kids?
Nope.
Come on, go to San Francisco.
What?
Wow, you've
That's
never,
where
people
watch
you've
anime.
never heard of this One
Right?
Punch?
No, I
One Punch.
legitimately have no idea what you're
It's
talking
like
about.
he's like
Oh,
it's
man.
like a Dragon Ball Z style thing, except the guy's so powerful he beats everybody in one punch.
Yeah.
So it's like a half-hour long episode. So they just sit there,
might
opposite
just
ends
talk
of the
shit the
screen,
entire time and
just
then
sit there and
punch.
talk shit and squint at each other until the very end,
No,
where he throws
no,
one
no.
punch and
Yeah,
scene.
you have the teenage angst.
You got
that
it.
comes in first. Then you have the drama. Then you have the angry words, and then you have the punch, and then you have the credits.
And then he's so disappointed because he's like, "Oh, I thought this one would be." a little
See,
bit of
I
a
almost kind of
challenge."
wish Dragon Ball Z could be rewritten with one punch, because my God, that
Like,
fight
seriously,
with Frieza.
there is so much.
That
so
17
much
episode
angsty
fight with
squinting.
Frieza.
Yeah.
That was like 4 years of me growing up. I was just watching Goku and Frieza stare at each other.
why
every
they
day.
that's why they rebooted the series of Dragon Ball Z Kai. They cut out all the filler and all the talking shit for like 3 episodes.
So it lasted 2 episodes, the entire run.
I remember coming home and watching, like, getting excited. I was like, Goku's finally going to beat Frieza. And then it was like half an hour of shit talking. I was like, I am so let down, but I am so coming back tomorrow to watch this again.
One of my happiest moments growing up was hearing that they finally translated beyond that one part in the fight where it would just like cut off and restart, and it was like, oh man, what a big letdown. But like they found the hidden tapes from Japan and pulled them back and found a new voice for Krillin to say, I'm dead again. And they had like continued on, and we saw it, and it finally ended. Years! You thought it was a long time between Star Wars movies. Oh my
Yeah.
God!
It took a long time for Funimation to get the rights past the Frieza saga, and yeah, so they didn't
That's
have
why
White
Drug-
Saga was the biggest fight of that
Well,
whole
it's like
thing.
so like they would have all the way up to the Frieza, and then they would skip everything, like the best part of it, and go straight to the Majin Buu saga, which is like one of the worst.
Uh-huh.
And that was all that they had. So they didn't go into the Trunks or the Cell saga, any of that stuff. I mean, because I would watch it and like, wait, who are these little kids? Where the fuck did they come from? Why is
Yeah, I
Goku
know.
dead again? You know?
Stop dying, Goku.
God damn it.
And then like right after they kill Frieza, like Frieza comes back. It's like old Frieza and his dad.
Yeah.
Well, that was
back.
Trunks. And then
And then-
Trunks slices him in
yeah.
half. And then, but they recently just did a new movie, Resurrection F, where Frieza comes
Yeah,
back.
Frieza's back again. Great.
Yep.
Ugh.
Well, I'm thankful that they did, because that was how I got to meet the voice actors at San Diego Comic-Con, so that made me happy. Even though
Nice.
they live here in Dallas, but let's not
It's not
dwell on that.
Oh, really? I didn't know they did.
Yes, they record. Funimation Studios is in Fort Worth, and the voice actors for Goku and Frieza and Vegeta all live here in Dallas because the voice actor for Vegeta owns a recording studio in Plano.
Ah, that makes sense. A voice actor owning a recording studio.
Hmm.
Gotcha.
He actually does more voice directing than he does anything else now, but
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you've done enough voice acting, you figure out how to do the other end of things too, probably.
Well, it's probably
well,
more
that I think that
profitable.
he's not a one-trick pony, but he just has that deep voice,
Mm-hmm.
and he's probably just an anime kind of edged out because if they're going to get a deep voice, who they're going to call? Steve Bloom.
Of course, yes.
They're going to call Steve Bloom, and now it's, of course, in just regular animation, it's who are we going to call? Steve Bloom or Troy Baker? Because
Yep.
that's the two deep voices that we're gonna pick.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and
Or Kevin Michael Richardson. There's a third.
who also plays one of the highest voices of most
Yes,
characters.
Cleveland Jr. Every
Yeah,
time
exactly.
I watch the Cleveland show, I just crack up. It's like I can't. This is the current Shredder.
Yep.
He's Cleveland Jr.
Well, I just had my mind blown back when I found out that the original Shredder from back the original
Oh,
run of Ninja Turtles
James Avery?
was Uncle Phil from
Yeah.
from Fresh Prince. I was like, what the fuck? What the hell? I'm used to seeing him throw jazz out the front door. This is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. The world.
And he also yells at. He just yells at people. He yells at Rocksteady and Bebop.
Yep. All the
He
well.
throw them out the door too.
Yeah. But, wow. Okay, so the fact that we just had a conversation about voice actors for this long, I think kind of speaks volumes about the game. And not to say that the game is bad, because it's okay. It is.
It's okay.
And it is, I found it to be a very interesting concept as far as the game is concerned. Just the whole B-movie approach. It was also what I loved about back in the Wii era, the House of the Living Dead Overkill? It was a very similar approach. Minus the commentary, but they had a
Like
lot
of horror tropes.
Yeah, a lot of horror tropes, and then just hilarious dialogue in between the characters. Essentially, doing a send up of everything that you would have gotten from the voice track in this game.
Mm-hmm.
It was essentially just like self-referential bullshit dialogue in between the buddy cop protagonists in the game. It was very similar in concept, and I really enjoyed that as well. But what I enjoyed most about that game is it was amusing, but it also didn't overstay its welcome. Like I think it was maybe 3.5 hours, and the game was completely done.
Yeah, this one, I mean, I can't say it overstayed its welcome, because when I looked at my final time, I was like, oh, really, that's it? I mean, it only took me about, 5-6 hours?
Hold on, you said, ooh, that's it? That means you felt like it was longer.
I felt like I played it more, but with the way that my time goes, I've played it more days than probably as many as length of time. Like I don't think I probably sat down and played it longer than an hour and a half at a time.
Okay.
So it's just things will get away from me. Like I can't believe I've already put in as few hours in the Division as I have, because I feel like I've played like 15, but no, I've only played about 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but if you look at the clock, like, okay, so 6 hours. Oh, and the other reason why I probably feel like I played it longer is because of my PC adventure. So
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
kind of, redid all that.
Well, how
So I
much time
played
did you actually put in the PC version?
2 hours, because that's how long
Wow.
it took me to get to King Kong.
Okay. Damn.
So yeah. So that's probably another reason why. But I mean, I think this game was like what, $10?
15, I think. $14.99.
Okay.
And
Yeah, it was on Steam sale when I bought it for like $10.
Well,
yeah, I think actually, yeah, it was like it might have even been like $8.70 something or something like that. Like it was 33% off the.
I mean, even at full price, it's not a terribly
for
expensive.
what it is, I think that's
No, it's fine.
I think that's worth it. I mean, no, is it groundbreaking? No, it was just it's just a little entertaining thing that makes fun of itself, and it made me double over in laughter through most of my playthrough.
It was one of those where it's like never has a stupid game felt more smart. You know what I mean? Because it was everything that was so stupid about it. They realized it. They winked at the camera. They acknowledged it, and they dealt with it in smart ways, just to let you know that yes, we realize what we're doing. So where I kind of asked at the beginning of this where what do you think? Do you think that this could have possibly been a bad game that they just kind of did this with it to try to make it palatable, where they kind of just do the whole nudge and wink at the camera the entire time, and so it's like, yeah, they realized what they were doing, and so they were smart about being stupid.
I mean, they personally attacked social issues. They say, earlier I was like, people didn't appreciate how ahead of the time that we were by having
having the female protagonist,
having the woman save the man. I mean, women wouldn't save men. I mean, who are we kidding? And then later, much later in the game, he says,
a woman defusing landmines?
Oh yes, there was that. So he gave Dick's.
Yeah, because I played as the lady the whole time, and then they swapped characters on me.
I liked her abilities better. I only used Dick Starspeed if I had to use the mines, and I never used the robot except for that one time where you had to.
Mm-hmm.
But so later, I think I'm just running and doing something, and he's saying, I just figured that if you're going to have a useless character who doesn't mean very much overall, why not make it a good-looking woman? Oh God! But that was probably so true back then.
Oh yeah. Well, and did you happen to see the jokes that they did back with the menus? If you came back to the game when you loaded up, the first time it was the guy holding up the woman,
Yes.
carrying her.
It's you found our original movie poster.
Yeah. Oh, that's just like I intended it to be. The next time they come around, and it's the robot holding it was the gal holding the guy.
Yeah.
And he goes, wait a minute, where did this come from? And then the voice from the booth goes, yeah, well, we did some research. Market research found that actually this might get a better response from the audience. He's like, what the hell? Well, no, okay, if that's what you think. And then another time you load it up, and it's the robot holding the gal. And they're like, and then he goes, this is definitely not what we thought of when we were coming up with this game. And then he goes, yeah, we also did some market research, and people are big into cyborg-human relations. So, And then the last time around, he loads up, and it's the robot holding the guy. And he goes, really? Really? This is what you came up with? And then you hear from the booth, and he goes, more research. And he goes, yeah, I know. Just interrupts him.
I only heard a couple of those. I didn't hear all of them.
I believe there were at least 4 different permutations that I heard. So it was just the weird shit like that where nobody does stuff like that. So it was just kind of cute where it is that very much that nod and wink at the camera. And I really enjoy that. I thoroughly enjoy that in games.
It was kind of a lot like if Mystery Science Theater 3000 made their own movie.
Mm-hmm. Or made their own game.
Right.
Made their own game based on their own movie.
Oh.
You could probably kickstart this.
Oh, how
right now.
meta! How meta!
Yeah, I know, and you would get so much money. Yeah, and you'd get all the voice cast.
Are you a fucking Blizzard?
for
Are you
everybody?
fucking kidding me, man?
What the fuck?
This
dude?
fucking guy.
It's really good. Though.
God damn it, Ross. This is why we can't
Just
have
had to
nice
stop the
things.
podcast for a moment.
That fucker
Really?
better have
Really?
some booze in it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you bring enough for everybody? I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's right here.
Come on over here. Jesus Christ. That's terrible. You should be
Alright.
ashamed of yourself.
Well, I think we've discussed this one.
I did have one more question for Ross. So you had the problems with the frame rate and it kind of making you feel sick. Were you using the film grain or the DVD grain?
Well, I was doing the VHS grain.
Okay.
I thought about swapping it to see if
I was
that would help,
wondering.
but
Yeah.
it wasn't the grain over the top of it. Because while I was just playing the game, it was fine up until there was more stop motion stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The
So
grain
it was-
actually probably helped it.
Yeah, probably took the edge off of it a little bit because
Yeah.
that messes with the refresh as it is right there.
But it's like, I mean, I've played other games where the frame rate is pretty bad and had similar issues, which is one reason why I enjoy the options that being a PC gamer allows you, because
Jesus
you can
Christ.
overpower frame rate issues.
Really?
Um,
Really?
by tweaking
But you can't
settings and stuff,
overpower that.
adjusting
You
it.
couldn't overpower that.
I
You can't overpower
can't
stop
overpower
motion.
design. Yeah,
Yeah, you can't overpower the game's design.
yeah. That's why games like this and Batman are just terrible. So
I think you need to specify which Batman you're
Batman
talking about,
Arkham
Russ.
Knight was just designed poorly.
On PC.
My boss hated it on PS4.
Too much goddamn
It was-
Batmobile.
Even
Yes.
running
Fuck the
biggest
Batmobile.
complaint
the
was-
issues
was the
aside,
tank.
like it just started off, it was not
Yeah.
fun. or good.
Let's take everything that you really enjoyed about Batman and let's make it minor to the
Terrible.
Batmobile. Yeah, hey, there you go. You know everything that you liked? We're going to let you do it about 2/3 as much as you did in the last game. And then we're going to throw in something that sucks and controls like you're trying to drive
What kind of bad guy?
a
I don't even
tank
know
from
who
Resident Evil game.
I don't even know who the bad guy is, but
I know.
why
someone told
would
I
you
know.
design
Someone
remote
told me and I
control
face palmed. So
Yeah, I know.
tanks to
You
fight
didn't
Batman?
know?
You put a guy in the tank, he can't blow it up anymore. He can't fight the tanks. All you have to do is drive Volkswagen Bugs at him, and he can't stop you. But no, if you have like driverless vehicles, Batman can blow those up all day.
Yeah, exactly.
Then go after him in a Pinto. Then you can even touch the thing, and it'll blow up. It'll be
I-
Batman's fault. He'll break his one rule. His
My
one
favorite-
weakness: that you can't kill him.
My
or that
favorite
he
point
chooses not to kill you.
My favorite point in that game is you drive around the Batmobile, and the number of times that you drive through like intersections, or like you'd have like a metal pylon or like a support or something that you just drive straight fucking through. You then turn around and drive back, and it's repaired. It's like what just happened? Like I just blew directly through
Wow,
that.
That's just
okay,
a video game.
you gotta admit that Gotham has probably had so much of this shit happens. They have maintenance people around the clock.
Why do
ready to fix
people
stuff.
live there still?
Yes,
I've been
amen.
wondering that for years.
It's a hellscape. It is a hellscape that is just a fucking nightmare to live in. Why would you choose to reside there?
I mean, so we're watching The Dark Knight. We get to the end of that. And, like, at that point, you just pack your shit up and leave. Like,
Yeah, no
I
shit.
don't care that the Joker is dead or captured or whatever. You just go. And then when the Dark Knight returns,
I'm gonna go live in
that sounds
Metropolis.
like, you guys asked for this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Starting to feel bad for them.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's just like this is stupid. It's real mighty stupid.
It's like, why would you live in Metropolis? Why would?
So you
would
can
live
see
in all these
Superman.
places?
Come on, man. Yeah.
Or Central City or Star City. You don't live in these places. You just leave.
Yeah, exactly. Get the
This is
fuck
what
out.
Captain America is about. Holy, that going through the clips of all of the things. You've blown up this city, this city, this city, this city. You need to stop.
And then
Maybe
they go.
it's you.
So they're like, you've blown up this city, and this city. All recorded in Detroit.
Yeah.
And Captain America World Police is all like, "Brr, brr, 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 brr," and Iron Man's like, come on, we need to be reasonable here. And
Although I
Captain
love
America's
the
a bad
fact-
guy in his own movie.
I love the fact that the guy who is telling them you suck because you've blown up in these cities is the future Red Hulk. That's just
Yep.
lovely.
Yep, it is. Yep. Yep.
That guy's a terrible character in Marvel Puzzle Quest.
Well,
That's what you're concerned about, because that's where Ross gets his dose of Marvel
That's-
canon.
Yeah, because then they don't talk. I could just skip through all the words. They're way better as ideas.
That's why they need to do a Hulk movie. No worries.
See, I
Just watch.
thought of you, Ross, when I watched the trailer. I was like,
Oh.
Spider-Man! It just made Ross's day.
Okay, that Spider-Man dude, he looked like a fucking Macy's Day Parade float. I don't know what the fuck they did to him.
If you look
he
at
did
the
not look
high-res-
right.
If you look at the pictures, it's better in static form. They're probably
Well,
not done.
yeah, but the
not
movie's in
done.
motion. It's
They're not.
moving. Come
It'll
on.
probably look better.
He looks like a
Movie's in motion.
fucking parade float. He was a floaty.
I told Carrie that the only reason I don't want Spider-Man to die is because if he dies, he'll burst open and hundreds and thousands of little Spider-Man will burst out of it and crawl everywhere and be all creepy. It's really spiders.
To which I said, thanks for the nightmares.
That sucks. I mean, that's
Fucking
Ant-Man's shtick. He's gonna be so pissed.
Good God.
Aside from the fact that spiders eat ants. Ant-Man really will be pissed.
Yeah.
And dead.
Yeah. And then
Happens.
we'll have to call like the exterminator, and Deadpool will show up and
Yeah.
kill him all.
And he just sit there, God damn it, these stupid wasps.
Has anybody
just smacking
seen
them out of
has
the air.
anybody seen the GIF yet where they took the clip of Spider-Man stealing Captain
Yes.
America's shield, jumping up,
Yes.
and then Deadpool comes out and is like, "Superhero flip, yay!"
Superhero landing. That's what it's
Yeah,
like,
superhero landing, yeah.
landing.
It's
That's
so
awesome.
good. It's so much better than the new one that's just come out where it's like, Spider-Man shows up and then all the people are wigging out, all excited. I was like, no.
That one made me laugh because that's people's response. It's like, "Oh my God, Spider-Man!"
Yeah.
And I send a text to Jen. I'm like, "I don't give a fuck about Spider-Man."
Yeah.
I mean, that one made me laugh, but the Deadpool one, I was just like, that's so spot on. It's so
I want
spot on.
Deadpool to show up in the movie and like slap Spider-Man and something. Go back to Sony.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, people aren't talking about probably one of the best parts of the whole trailer, and that was like the machine gun fire at Black Panther, and he's just like, "What?"
He's like,
Yeah.
come at me,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm
Come on.
so
Bring it
glad
on,
that we finally
motherfuckers.
got to see Black Panther actually like doing something other than just being some sort of, and also seeing Vision being driven down by Scarlet
Vision
Witch.
getting made to be somebody's little bitch.
But
I mean,
hey,
that was
we are
kinda
not
nice.
we are not a movie spoiler podcast. We are
Oh, come on.
They're not
Come on. All
spoiling
right.
anything.
This is
What
a
are
movie
they?
trailer spoiler.
Right,
podcast.
this is
Now,
movie
Chris, my
trailers.
favorite part though, one little brief, like the Civil War meme where they have Iron Man or Captain America saying something, Tony Stark saying the next it was, "I think Spider-Man looks terrible in this ad," and then Tony Stark, "No, I think he actually looks great." Civil War.
I
I was
actually
like, that's
love-
awesome.
I love the Civil War meme. I even love it even
No,
more
it's
that
so
Robert
good.
Downey Jr. like reposts most of those because
Oh, I know.
so funny.
That dude,
Oh,
he
it's-
thinks it's hilarious. Oh, God,
That's
so
great.
good. So good. You know what? And that's why the internet rocks, right there. They're terrible most of the time, but every once in a while there's a gem.
Every once in a while, one nice
Well,
person
you know,
crawls out of the cracks.
Like Chris Pratt posted every single meme making fun of him with the Jurassic World scene. I mean, he posted every single one of those because he found.
Oh,
it
the one
fun.
with the
Yeah,
dinosaur? They're like,
yes.
yeah. So good.
Oh,
God. At least they have a sense of humor about it. Because they can totally
You
be up
got-
their own
you-
ass
you
about it
have
and then
to.
just hate it all.
In this day and age, you have to have a sense of humor about it because it's the internet now. People are just going to hate you regardless.
Yep. Oh, it's going to be great.
I don't know. I
Can't
think
wait.
Hawkeye and Age of Ultron put it best. Like, we're fighting an army of robots. I have
I'm gonna-
arrows. None of this makes sense.
Sense. Yep, that's exactly right. Nailed it. Fucking nailed it.
I didn't like that movie. Anyway, so what games have we been
shocked.
playing? Oh wait,
I'm
next
so
next
shocked.
game.
Yeah, so
Uh,
the next game for April is Blake's pick, but
Well, I think we're going to bypass it.
Ross.
Oh,
already has
it
a
sounds like
proposal.
everybody's already talked to each other about this.
Yeah, well, I talked to everybody except you, Chris.
Well,
I talked to
talked to
Carrie, and she used your voice
Did
when
she?
talking back to me. She was all like, "Yeah, I'm gonna rope up some college girls, and then we're gonna do this,"
And then what?
which was a little weird. Come on,
Yeah.
misogynist Carrie talking about roping up college girls.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I was like, "Oh yeah, Chris voice." Okay.
He's like, oh, that's right. You shouldn't have talked to
Yeah.
her that night that she was super wasted last week.
So in
Really
the
bad
event that a AAA game comes out, and by the grace of God, all of us want to play it, similar to what happened with Fallout, we skip the person's pick and then go play another game, or go play the AAA.
Go play something
Go
completely
play something completely different.
Yep, so next
we
week
focus-
we are
we focus
playing
on-
Puzzle Quest.
Yeah, Marvel Puzzle Quest, right?
Not
Oh,
Marvel Puzzle Quest.
Magic Puzzle Quest.
Nope, just normal Puzzle Quest. Just
Okay,
the
that
first
game
one.
sucks.
Oh, that game is
Hey, I like
it was
Puzzle
okay.
Quest. You bet your
PSP
tongue.
game. Anyway,
No,
so
I played it first on DS. But
I revoked my
Yeah,
vote
so
for
did
this.
I.
you
Sucks.
revoked your vote.
Yeah, if we're playing Puzzle Quest, I'm done. We're done.
So-
we're not
pick the
playing
game.
Puzzle Quest.
instead of allowing us to
Blake.
be subjected by Blake's pick. Instead, we're going to postpone that for a little bit. Hopefully, we'll all die. And then in the meantime, we're going to play The Division. Right?
Oh, man, I was gonna
Sound good?
make you guys
Everybody
play-
playing The Division?
It was
I'm
going to be Peggle all the
I
way
don't
around.
know how to
Everybody's
play
playing
The
Peggle
Division.
to completion.
Division.
It's
Yep.
really.
Okay,
We need
so
more time
at
to
this
play The
point,
Division.
all right, motherfuckers, we all got to get in the same game and play at the same time.
Whoa,
Thanks.
whoa, we can't
No.
do that.
Oh, that's,
Well, we gotta wait till Chris gets back.
So, like 2 months from now, or
No, next
prob-
week.
It'll be next week, but I'm only home for 2 weeks.
I'm not.
and then
I'm not
off.
home next week. I'm out all next
So
week.
there's
I'm in
one
Michigan.
week gone.
Tells you
And then I'm
his name.
home for.
And me, I don't even know if me and Carrie are friends. I don't think we've ever played a game together.
Ross and I have
Never
never played a game together, so
I played with Russ last night on PS4, and I think that's the first time, other than
Was that
Magic
Need for
2.
Speed
Magic
Night?
2 we played.
Oh,
Magic
Magic
2.
That's right.
That was the first time that we. Yeah, I was about to say the first time we
Played
played together
Need
on
for
PS4.
Speed,
And
Magic.
Magica. That was it.
that's what Ross and I never played together on anything. Because anytime we've gotten like the same game, it's always on different.
I can honestly say the
platforms.
four of us have never played together because I've played with Carrie, I've played with
Yep.
Blake and Ross, but like none of the four of us.
I don't know if. Well, you, me, and Blake had played Diablo 3
Yep.
together
Yeah.
before.
We played Gauntlet together too. No, we didn't.
No.
It was just
No,
you and I.
that
No,
was
it was
just you
just
and me.
Carrie and you.
Yeah, and so Carrie, how did we avoid the whole? Hey, we're playing it on different platforms. Well, Carrie bought it on every platform.
What?
You
What?
bought The Division on all of the platforms.
I did
right?
not. I only bought it on one platform.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I stand corrected.
She's cool. People just send her shit.
I've been
Yeah, I know, it's
debating.
nice,
I've
isn't
been debating it, buying it on both platforms, on PS4 and
Well,
PC.
okay,
But
you say all. I don't have it on PC.
Okay.
I got it on GameCube.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Good to know.
It doesn't run well.
Well,
I
right
got
up
it
there
on
with
NX.
it sits on your shelf right next to the StarCraft Ghost, right there.
StarCraft Ghost never came out.
Yeah, exactly. You're good at this, Ross. Congratulations.
I played StarCraft Ghost at
Division
Gen
came out.
Con.
You played it. What? Hold on! Stop this fucking phone. You played StarCraft Ghost?
Yes, I played StarCraft Ghost. Blizzard had a small booth
How
at
have
Gen
I
Con.
not known this?
Because you don't give a shit
about.
about Gen Con.
No, I don't give a shit about Gen Con, but you played StarCraft Ghost, motherfucker. I want to hear.
No, we talked about
Details.
this. Chris was like, "I'm gonna talk about Gen Con now," and you're like, "I gotta piss," and you walk off, and then you talk about StarCraft Ghost.
Because I thought he was talking. It's because I thought he was talking about dice. I thought he was talking about dice and
That
cards
was-
and shit.
I
Best
rolled
Battlefield.
a 20 and got to
Wizards.
play StarCraft Ghost. It was
What
awesome.
the fuck?
That's
Okay,
all you're
so-
going to get out of it. Nope. That's all you're going to get out of it.
And that's all the time we have. So,
That's,
what
uh,
games have we been playing?
The one time I actually want to talk to you about something.
Nope.
I mean,
it's-
what the fuck, man?
uh,
Whoa,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Mean.
Calm down.
Dude.
I'm kidding.
Dude.
Ross, it's funny because I actually just talked to Chris before we recorded this in an independent call. Actually, I did. Honest to God, that was the
Did
thing
you
that
just
happened.
say I have black friends?
Well, actually, if you want to know, he's writing a review about a game with black people, so I had to tell him how to tactfully say that he was putting them in his pit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So-
I needed the pit advice and the
Oh.
proper slang that you
Oh,
should use
let's
for
bring it back to
referring
G-rated.
minorities.
Let's bring it back
Yeah,
to G-rated.
exactly.
Okay, the kid's gone.
Oh,
Let's
man.
bring it back to R.
Is it-
Wait, no,
okay,
no,
all right, do this.
no, we're at
Yep.
G. We're still at G. Okay.
Yep. Are we clear? Are we
at
free?
PG-13 now, or are we at
Are
R?
we safe? We're worried about the kid. Is he gonna hear anything bad?
I mean, she has headphones on, but you never know how much noise leakage will come out of that, especially when Blake starts talking about
What?
putting girls
Fuck,
in his
man.
pit and passing
That's
lotion
you.
around.
Jeez.
I can't be in a pit. I'm in an RV.
All right, well, I need to start a hashtag movement like SGR Book of the Month Club so white.
Oh, come on now. That's not right. That ain't right.
So we're all
That
agreed.
ain't true.
So you three already own the Division on PS4, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it on PC then.
What the
Sounds
fuck,
good.
man?
Because PC
God,
Master Race.
The
bitches.
one time that
Hey,
we could
hey,
all...
60
I hear it looks
FPS.
fantastic.
Hey,
All right,
60
I-
FPS and better graphics. Oh wait,
But
there's
the
none
Dark
of those
Zone has
weird-
been hacked to fucking shit,
It
though.
looks
Be careful.
beautiful on PS4. It really
Okay,
does.
I did play the PC beta, 4K. The game looks fucking gorgeous. However, Chris, just be aware, the Dark Zone on PC is just overrun with people that have hacked the hell out of the game.
Well, yeah, that's PC for you.
Well, so play it on console, so you don't have to worry about those assholes.
I want the 60 FPS.
right.
I want the better graphical. I want PC Master Race, bitch.
I want a whole bunch of people standing in doorways doing jumping jacks.
Yeah,
I did have someone try to stand in a doorway in front of me today.
Oh, they've been
And I
doing
just,
that. They've
I
been
walked
doing.
right up to them and kept on walking and actually was able to push them out of the way.
Nice.
So apparently on and this is on all consoles that there is now a big deal with getting into the
Yep.
safe house
safe houses
In
and
the
going
Dark
to
Zone.
PCs.
and the fact that so today I watched 3 streamers play the Dark Zone because they're all at the Dark Zone level now,
Right.
and players would literally just run circles hoping to get shot, so that way the person shooting would get flagged as a rogue agent.
What?
Yeah, because
There needs to be a better way of controlling rogue agents, because apparently
Wow.
people now are just like, I'm gonna run around this NPC that you want to kill, so that way you hit me and instantly get flagged as a rogue agent.
I love MMOs.
God, people are
I
the
don't
fucking
find this
worst.
entertaining. I don't find people
right.
purposely trying to
But
ruin the game
You have to
entertaining.
go into the dark zone once you hit level 30 in order to actually kind of do anything else. So, and this is the part where like the four of us would be great because at this point
You
I
would just grief the fuck out of each
no
other.
I
That's
would
what you're talking about.
I'm not going to be that dick because I've watched enough dicks.
Ross will be then. He'll be fine.
No.
No.
I won't shoot my friends unless they're dogs.
Oh God, this monster. Yeah. Okay. So we're playing last night, and all I hear is in the voice chat I just hear, "Here, boy, come here," and then I hear boom, and I'm like, "What the fuck just happened?" Because I just spawned into the party, and then I hear from somebody, "Oh yeah, Ross kills any dog he sees."
You're a monster.
Seriously.
They come up and bark at you.
Okay, you would
You
sit
can
there
ignore
and you
them.
would
They
creep
attacked
up.
me.
Okay, Ross.
They did not.
Ross, you were creeping up on them, motherfucker. I
They
saw you
attacked
do
me
it.
with their voice.
Really?
I have this other friend who goes around and just shoots the dogs, and I called him a monster.
I'm saving them.
From what? Do you hear yourself right now? Really? You should be ashamed of yourself.
Do the same thing in the park out there. It's not that big of a deal. I live out by a park.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
He's kind of a monster.
Wow, he's got a dog too.
Had. Did you hear earlier?
No.
No.
I was playing with Eric earlier this week, and this is my addiction of the month. This is what I've been pretty much playing the whole time. So Eric and I were playing, and this dog actually came up to this couple in the street and was barking at them, and this couple was wigging out. I'm like, walk the fuck away! Like, this dog's not preventing you from going anywhere. But they were like so
Right.
scared. So Eric and I just walked in between them and the dog was like, oh, okay, and then walked off.
Imagine that.
You
Huh.
could shoot the dog too.
Ross.
Yeah, no, I don't shoot dogs, not even virtual ones.
Nope, because we're not monsters.
Not like my son, which I sent this to Chris. I haven't told you guys this
Oh
story.
no.
So I got another Minecraft story.
Oh boy, here we
Where he
go.
goes, hey, Mom, do you like dogs? Like, I love dogs. He goes, oh, okay. And then I see him doing this on his iPad. He's like, do you hear that? Do you hear them? You can just hear dogs scream. He's like, I'm throwing dogs in the lava, Mom. Stop that.
Oh my God! Okay, what have you done to your child?
Where they belong.
He's like, he goes,
Did you just hug him and say, honey, obviously you need some love? What the fuck?
Oh, good boy.
He goes, do you hear them crying? Do you hear them screaming as they fall to the lava? And so I said, it's like, you need to stop. He goes, I said, you need to stop that. That's awful. He goes, oh, did you say throw more dogs in the lava?
Oh my God! Oh my God! This is how Hannibal started, Carrie. What the fuck? Oh my God!
Oh man, I need to play more
Did I
Minecraft.
tell you guys about the zombie pit he made?
No.
So he made a
Chris, this
zombie
is Chris's
pit.
language.
He made a zombie pit, and he's like, hey, Mom, I'm feeding the zombies. I'm feeding them villagers. He dropped a villager in. He goes, watch how they jump trying to get out.
Oh my God!
To which I'm just like,
Oh,
dude,
man.
why are you doing this? He goes, well, but they have to feed him a villager because there's this village, and if they don't, then the zombies will get out and attack the whole village. It's like,
Sacrifice.
There's sound logic there, Carrie. He volunteered, Mom. I swear he did. I've got a cage of them in the back that volunteered. They just
Throwing the
said, "Yeah,
dogs in the
okay."
lava is just fun. That's just
I don't know what that was so random.
You know, I would be more critical, but I was also a monster who in The Sims would let people swim around in pools and then just fucking take out the ladders and watch them piss themselves until
I
they
know a
died.
lot of people who did that.
Or in The Sims, build walls all the way around them and just watch them starve to death, or wall them in and then light the house on fire. I mean, yeah. So I mean, I can't be too critical of the kid.
The best
So,
part
I
of the
mean-
best part of Sims 1 was the murder simulation.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah. Sociopath Simulator 1.0. Hey, that's exactly what it was. The Sims.
Sims 1.0 before they started patching out shit like removing ladders and doors. Yeah, if you built a house and then just took out all the doors, like the rats would start coming in. It was so good. It was so good.
Oh my god.
So many
yes.
deaths in that game, and it only took you 10 minutes to kill a sim. It was
Will
awesome.
Wright presents Homicide Simulator 1.0. I mean, God, that's so fucked up. Oh, Lordy. So how do we get here? How the fuck did
That's
we
it.
get here?
Talking about killing dogs in the Division.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
I
we should obviously get off the Division talk because we don't want to spoil our next
No,
discussion.
that's my addiction of the month. Like, I am absolutely loving it.
It's so much fun.
I'm really debating buying it twice. But if the fact.
What the fuck, man? Buy it once.
But
He
the
wants
fact.
to get on.
If Blake says buy it once,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Use some common sense.
Yeah, but on the PC.
At least wait until it's on sale before you buy it for the third time. I mean, Christ. Come on.
Yeah,
That's
but
what Steam
I
sales
will
are
probably
for.
like this game, unlike you who buys games that you hate 4 times. So there's a difference.
Okay,
Here.
this joke is really starting to get old, Chris.
No, it's pretty much the truth. Because I'll buy a game that I like twice.
yeah. What joke?
It's not a joke. You buy games you hate several times, hoping they get better. I'll buy a game I know that I'll like twice just to
It's
play.
like a bee trying to go through the window. This time I can go through. This time. This time. This time.
Someday you'll find that crack, and then you're free.
Yeah, and then
Have
you
you
find the
found it
can
yet?
of Raid.
Have you found that with Max Payne 3 yet? Have you?
Nah, seriously, fuck that game. Fuck it, Ned.
Buy it,
Uh,
but fuck it again.
I'll be buying the Division when I get home on Monday. I plan on leaving in the morning so that way I can get the Division probably by the afternoon and then have it for Monday night to play with my brothers because like
By the way, your
everybody-
brothers invited me in to play last night.
Did
I was
they?
like, wow, yeah. Your brother, is it Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, Jake invited me to play with him. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that Jake will have played more Division with me than than he's played with Chris at this
Oh yeah,
point.
he texted me. He actually texted me and was like, "You get in the Division?" I said, "Yeah, but it won't be until next Monday when I actually get home again." He goes, "Oh, I'll be so far ahead of you," and I just replied back with, "Cool,
Sweet, cool story, bro.
cool start."
I will say that one thing the game does really well is scale between
It does.
different leveled party members.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because the upper level people still feel like it's a challenge and they're still getting worthwhile stuff.
All right, spoiler
the lower
alert for
levels
next
never
week's
feel
for
super-
next month's episode, man.
Well, I mean, we're gonna have a lot
It's-
more to say.
We're
We're
gonna have a
still
lot more to say about
2
it.
days into the game.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the 4 of us will have to go into the dark zone.
And
Yeah.
and by
Together?
the and hopefully
No,
by
individually.
no, hopefully by the time that we actually record the Division podcast, Book of the Month, we will have incursions, and hopefully, maybe the 4 of us can team up and actually do an incursion just to see what it's like, because that'll be.
So an incursion, that's the equivalent of a strike, right?
There's a lot of speculation. It's either a strike or a raid. But
Oh
if-
yeah, okay.
but
So the
there's-
incursion, that was the one that they were rumoring was going to be a raid potentially on Rikers Island, right?
yeah,
Is
so
that what I was hearing?
so far the most that I've seen off of stream is that people have found the incursion actual mission point, and they have
Mm-hmm.
a gear level score. So your gear level needs to be. They're recommending like gear level 150. But if you look,
Jesus.
if you look in the Division right now, there's no gear score at all in the UI. So it's not something that's coming out until they actually drop that DLC.
Wow.
So
They're actually thinking in advance as opposed to just scrambling
yeah,
in
it's,
regards to the fan
un-
reaction.
unlike
Wow, that's
Bungie.
how undestiny of them.
on Destiny. So
Oh, wow.
I mean, they have a nice roadmap, and
Yeah.
so you can actually look
I'm-
and see what's going to be
Yeah, I'm
next.
actually going to have to buy the season pass.
Actually, I bought this is the first time ever for any game that I've ever bought the gold edition that
Hey.
includes the season pass.
Hey, you know
First
what?
time I've ever
when,
done it.
When I get back, that's
Stingy asses at Ubisoft that sent me my review copy didn't send me a gold edition.
Oh,
yeah,
They
30
sent me
bucks.
one for Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but not for this.
yeah, because they needed to redeem themselves
It's
from
like-
Unity.
But
$40 for the season pass
yeah,
for
but
what?
this
for
one
the Division?
for the
is
Division.
$30.
No, it's
It's
30 bucks if
40.
you buy it. If you buy it now, if you buy it piecemeal as it comes out, it's 40.
The thing is like at least Ubisoft
Yes,
is.
2 10s and a 20.
I will say this:
Pretty
at least
sure-
Ubisoft has said, "Hey, look, in April we're giving you this. In like June we're giving you this. In like August we're giving you this. In September
Yes.
we're going to give you this." So
They have a roadmap through the end of this calendar year.
yeah,
Yep.
so at least you know what you're getting. So you already know that. And for the people that are bitching about it, and this is not spoilers, this is not going to ruin our next thing, is what you're playing
it
now
will.
is totally to gear up for the DLC that drops in
No,
April.
Ross is right.
What now?
$40.
It's $40. I'm looking at the store right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm still buying it.
Yeah, that's
because
why
they-
the gold
they've-
edition was $100 because it was 60 plus the season pass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still buying the
Oh.
gold edition because I've
Okay.
watched the Division now for I would say 14, 15 hours just on streams. Everything I've seen, I'm just like, it's a looter shooter. I enjoy what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing in the Dark Zone. I like the fact that you have to go in with a team. I'm really liking the rogue agent kind of scary aspect of it, because I've watched streamers go in and get to that extraction zone and then start like, okay, so only 3 of us can get out.
Yep.
On a team of 4. And it's like,
yep.
What does that one person do? Do they shoot one person? You know, it's like all suddenly.
See what happens. All right, let's be honest. If we're all playing together, all you motherfuckers are shooting me. That's what's.
I mean, Blake is dead.
Hey,
what?
I'm nice.
No,
we play Gauntlet together.
You're right.
No,
okay,
no,
you'll shoot Ross.
No,
as Chris and Ross are both shooting me.
No. What's happening is we're gonna wait for Carrie to extract, and then Ross and I are gonna turn on you and shoot you.
Yeah, they'll be like, Carrie, you don't want to see this. Just go ahead.
Oh,
we'll take care of this.
Did you hear about how trading's gonna work?
Or you 3 will get out, and I'll just run after a dog.
No. Here's
come here, doggy!
Ross, this will help you
awful.
out. So, trading is gonna work in the fact that.
My God, we're talking about this so much.
Yeah, in your part. Well, it's all stuff that is you can go online and start seeing it. But
yeah, I know.
Trading works out that you can trade whatever you find during your party experience.
So with other members of your party, even if your gear is higher level.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Whatever you find during the time that you're partied up, you can trade with each other. But as soon as that party ends, you can no longer trade with each other.
Now, is it actually trading, or is it like the whole Diablo 3 thing where, I'm going to take this thing that I can't use and I'm going to drop it on the ground so you can pick it up?
No, as far as I understand, it is actually legitimate trading.
Like it's a trade. I have to give you something in exchange for something else.
No, it's like I can give you something for nothing, but I have to give it to you because you're in my party, and we have to be in a party at that time, and we have to have
make a
that
decision
during that party, like while we were still partied. As soon as you leave that party, that trading option just goes away.
Okay.
I can no longer say,
that.
Look, we got this while we were together, and I forgot to give it to you. I can't give it to you anymore.
That's more than what Destiny has. I would kill to have that in Destiny.
And I think that's a great. I think
Whoa,
it's a great compromise.
you monster!
Yeah.
Just killing so you can trade.
So
no purpose.
You know, in the trading aspect.
Have you played Destiny before? That's all.
It's not even a dog.
Nope. It is an alien.
So
a faceless alien.
What it sounds like is that we're all really excited to play the Division.
Goddamn right.
I'm really looking forward to playing it on Monday. Hopefully Monday night. Hopefully it will be fast enough. So.
Just one note about my experience, just really quickly about the Division. I have played probably 10 hours of the game so far and done, I think, 3 story missions. From what I understand, there's a total of 26 story missions. Mm-hmm. So that means I've spent more time trying to do 3 missions than it took for me to beat the entirety of the base Destiny campaign when the game launched.
Actually,
Was it because you kept getting distracted?
No. Yeah. Like I had okay, maybe a little, but
but
because
you're doing the side missions and encounters along the way that I understand.
I probably still spent at least half of that time in missions.
Thing in the map. How do I get to it? Let's wander through this housing structure, up house, use the lockpick.
I hate to tell you this,
out,
Blake, but I'm going to be part of the crew. I'm going to be part of the crew that gets level 30 in the 20 to 25 hour range because all I'm going to focus on is cranking out the story and getting level 30. And then I'll do all the side
missions. You get experience doing the other stuff too.
Yeah, but you don't get as much as if you were to... at least when I was playing Destiny, if you played through the entirety of the campaign, by the time you finished the campaign, did no side missions, you were at max level. Like that was I mean, unless you literally went through and you were backpacking through and somebody did all of the killing and you did nothing, pretty much you couldn't not hit max level by the time you completed the campaign. It was harder not to than it was to actually do it.
Oh, and Carrie, I can also say that if you do all the stuff on the map, like all those little side missions and all the encounters and all that, you do get something unlocked.
Oh, really?
There is an unlock. And then there is also another unlocked if you do all the intel, which is a bunch of blue dots.
It's all the collectibles, yeah.
Correct.
So there's something else if you do that because one of the streamers actually went through and did all that too.
Already? God damn.
Well, they've probably done nothing. They've probably done nothing but.
Yeah, they've done nothing but like they get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and play until.
They only sleep while the servers are down, which is actually quite a fair.
Yeah, exactly. You're fine. Yeah. So the whole first day. God, I was so pissed that first night because I got like an hour glimpse into what I was really enjoying, and then all of a sudden, all the plebes started joining in, and things went bad real fast.
All right.
Real fast.
It was all good for me before all the
Oh,
comments
yeah,
got in.
Privilege.
I got in a day and a
Privilege.
Yeah, if you had like a disc-based copy that you could play starting Monday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then,
Privilege.
like, I had it digitally, so we
Me
all
too.
logged in at like 11, and then it was up for like an hour, and then
Yep,
totally
and then
bombed
all
out.
hell broke. Well, I got about an
Which-
hour and 45 minutes in before all hell broke loose. But I like for that last half hour or so, it was like I was shooting people, and it'd be all right. I shot somebody. 1, 2, 3. Oh, now the damage registered. So like they would have the opportunity to kill me twice in the time that it took for them to just register like one of my sets of
You were
shots.
just missing.
No, I was in cover by the time it was registering my hits. I had shot them, returned to cover, and then I would see the little splash of damage. I'm like, what the fuck is
I
this
never
mess?
had any of those problems. Not
Right.
any time that I've played.
And though to that point, I haven't had that problem since. That was just that first night.
Yeah.
Blake.
So they
No,
fixed it.
Launches are always, their
They're
online
always
games
rough,
are always kind
especially
of
with server-based
rocky.
games.
But at the same time, I keep referencing back to Destiny, but that's just because that's my closest analog at this point. Destiny, I played through the entire campaign in one night, had no problems, never encountered any of that stuff.
Okay, you did
Yeah.
the whole campaign in one night. I'm gonna say right now, Division probably has a little bit more content.
Oh God, it's got a shit ton more. That's kind of what I was trying to allude to earlier. I beat the entire. I got the game at midnight, and I had it beat before I went to work the next morning.
What's the fun in that?
Why were you playing a video game all night before you
Because
went to work?
I wanted to. I enjoyed myself. So what? Chris and I even played.
Yeah, 4 in the morning. Then I
Yeah, we
played
played
again with my
yep.
brothers.
Like,
and-
you're an adult. You have responsibilities.
Yeah.
He was
They
Everyone's
pay you
always-
money to be awake.
I'd like
He's
to
still
see.
able to stay up all night and
Ross,
and work.
in order to review the amount of games I've been doing for Action Trip lately, I've been staying up real late a lot, so I'm good. 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep, that's about my cap. That's all I need, man. That's all I want.
He's
More
still
than
got
that, and I
enough.
get all foggy.
Like,
I just get all lethargic.
oh, wait till you hit your 30s.
What, the last time
You got like 4 months, bro.
I know, fuck. Oh God, and all
I
that.
didn't say 30, I said 30s. So
Yeah,
I
it
know, but I
comes
hit
fast.
third D in 4 months. I'm fucked. Oh, at the
All right.
end, Ross. This is the end. It's
Blake.
all over.
Blake.
Yeah, you're doomed, old
It was really
man.
kind of funny because Urosh actually asked me how you were able to, because then you said you tried to play Division until 2 a.m. and then you went to bed, and he's like, how is he able to do that? It's like, he's not 30 yet, Urosh. He goes, okay.
Well, I mean, seriously, like, this is in all honesty, I'm not trying to like blow it out of proportion or try to make it seem better than it is, but like seriously, if I get more than 5 hours of sleep, I am legitimately foggy the next day. Like 5 hours is my sweet spot.
Huh,
So
that's amazing.
go to
No.
go to bed at 1, up at 6 or 6:30.
He uses a
good.
lot of drugs too.
I have to get minimum of 6.
Yeah.
And the older
Well, I
I'm
mean,
getting,
that's not
it's
bad.
more like 8.
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
hard
I mean,
with my life, but
that's not to say that I don't get that sleep sometimes, but just especially when I'm excited about something that I'm playing, like The Division. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to bed at 1 or 2 a.m.
It
and then
doesn't
I'm
matter
gonna
if
get
I'm
up at 6 or
excited.
7.
I still can't. I just can't.
Well, that's the only opportunity I have to play.
I
That's what it
same
comes down
here, same here. But I can't. I just have to make.
You
it
also,
me
like-
too.
Exercise regularly and are a healthy adult.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
I don't know if I'm healthy, but
What are you talking about? What are you talking
What?
about? I'm getting up at 6 a.m. so that I can go to the fucking gym, you idiot. What?
Wow.
I haven't seen you there.
Did you just fucking go all?
because there's
like-
only one gym.
There's only one gym ever, and
No,
I certainly would never be there at 6 a.m.
I don't go work out at 6 a.m.
That's the only time I get, because I don't have time after I get out of work, because I'd be going at like 6 or 7 at night. I would never get to see my kids.
That's what I do.
Yeah, well, just wait until you have kids. Things are going to get real different for you. Real
That'll
different.
never happen.
I can't fucking... Yeah,
See-
yeah.
You see, like
can't
if I
fucking
didn't work from home, or I
cannot
could go
wait.
because I go at noon. There's no.
Right.
I probably would never get to work out because I can't go in the morning because I know our listeners really care about this shit. But I can't go in the morning because Sean's gone.
Right.
Both before I even wake up, and I have to take care of the kids. And then like in the evenings, I would feel too guilty.
Mm-hmm. That's my thing. I couldn't go at night because first of all, my wife needs help because she's had the kids all day. She's about ready to pull her hair out. And also, if I went at night, I would legitimately not see my kids at all.
Right.
I lack any feeling of guilt. Chris, what have you been playing?
That's because his daughter hasn't been born yet.
Yep, just wait. Just wait. The first female Red Wing. Just you wait. It's happening. Right?
Are you about done? I'm going to unmute my mic now. I'm going to
You're
actually put
still-
my phone down.
What? Hold on.
You don't need to sound like, the tortured martyr here.
Oh no,
Poor Chris.
I basically tuned out. I tried to bring things back on track, and then it just gave up.
Chris, what you playing?
I've been playing Grim Dawn.
What's Grim Dawn?
It's like Diablo, but with choices and secret hidden passages and all
It's
kinds
an
of
action RPG.
It's an action RPG.
Okay.
You take Diablo 3, blend it in with a little bit of Path of Exile, and you get Grim Dawn. It's a ton of fun.
Okay.
And
Those
actually,
are like the
Carrie,
same game.
Huh? No. It's
Path of Exile and Diablo are like the same game.
You still do a lot of clicking. You still do a lot of character optimization. Carrie, when I was talking about this on our podcast yesterday, or no, actually I think it was when we were chatting. I said that I finally beat the game. It was the cephalopod.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesomeness.
Cephalopod.
If you're a cephalopod addict,
I am.
It's a thing for you. The end boss is, if you're kinky for the cephalopods, you'll love the end boss because that's what
Quote
it
of the
is.
year right there.
Yeah.
If you're kinky for the cephalopods.
Yeah, I have Grim Dawn in my Steam wishlist. Thanks.
Okay.
For this.
Cephalopod, I don't even know what that is.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and Google that. Anyway,
No, I don't want to. I'm afraid I'm going to end up with a blue waffle situation on my hands.
No,
It's
you
not
won't
going to
end
end
up
well.
with a blue waffle situation.
Okay. All right. Just
so
checking. Don't Google that,
when I
listeners.
was chatting with
Oh my
Carrie,
God.
when I was chatting with Carrie earlier, I said that I had beat the game, and then I just immediately, I had a bunch of quests that I still hadn't finished yet, and I was like, I'm just going to go on to the next harder difficulty just to see if my character transfers over.
Oh, dear God.
So my character does transfer over, and my level, all of the skills that I've already invested, even the fact that I hadn't invested skill points yet, transferred over.
Mm-hmm.
And I started playing. I was like, oh wow, this is not going so well. I didn't get the proper level before doing this. So this afternoon, I was like, I wonder if I can go back and just change it from the elite difficulty to the normal difficulty and see what happens. As soon as I did that, all my quests came back that I hadn't finished.
Oh, nice.
And all the maps that I hadn't uncovered yet, I was like, oh, so I can go back and just continue off where I left off on normal difficulty and just have fun. So I actually cranked out like three quests that I had to do. Found an area that's just totally legit for grinding skill or grinding levels. Bookmarked that, called it a day, and just So
Nice.
The nice advantage of this one is obviously you can go back to an easier difficulty and complete everything that you hadn't finished before. You were like, I'm gonna just tackle the harder difficulty. It's also the fact that you get all the map that you explore, unlike Diablo, where the map is completely randomized.
Procedurally generated.
You can actually see all the map that you've explored. So even though I had explored a map, I was like, I hadn't fully explored this area and I hadn't fully explored this area, so it kind of gave me a clue as to where I needed to go to finish off some of these quests. So I did that and started getting, obviously my quest taken care of. So yeah, Grim Dawn is a nice combination because the skill tree is more of a Path of Exile kind of thing, where it's just immense because you can dual class, so you have to figure out what two classes you want to be, and those two classes equal a third class, and you can actually go on. I think it's like grimcalculator.com, and you can actually put all your points in and figure out all the little classes. And then they have like a celestial thing, so that like I'm playing a conjurer, so I'm basically a pet class, so I have all my pets do all my work for me. It's great. I send all my pets in, throw down some totems, I stand back and just watch. It's
Great.
fantastic. It's fantastic. So
Sounds Awesome.
Well, if you like, I mean, if you're an
Sounds
ARPG
fun
kind
to
of
me.
fan, it's a good time. And
Yeah.
I mean, the nice thing about what differentiates it from like Path of Exile or Diablo 3 is the fact that there are certain characters or situations that you'll run into where you have to make a choice. I mean, given what they're giving you, and sometimes you'll make a choice and then find that you've sent a demon back to a camp that you just found, and the demon has killed everybody in the camp.
Perfect. And then
Or
you know you made the right choice and move on.
or you could kill them when you find them because that's an option too. And then the camp lives, and then you get extra quests, which
Can you
means
just go
more
kill the
experience.
camp by yourself, or do you have to have
You
a demon?
can't kill the camp by yourself. You either send the demon in to do the work for you, and then you have to go kill the demon and hope you get some good items, or you kill the demon while it's in its childish form, and then you go back to the camp and get more quests, which equals more XP, which equals better gear. Choices. I mean, if you're playing like me, as soon as somebody smarts off to you, you kill them right away. So
Yes,
you have no
immediately,
idea.
especially if
You
they have
just-
a dog.
I mean, when they talk shit to you, you're like, fuck it, you're done. But I can see you clearly don't care. So Ross, what have you been playing?
No, I care.
I mean, Blake is playing
Ross
the P
doesn't
game.
care about anything.
I care more than Blake.
Yeah. And as soon as Blake gets back, I'm totally gonna go take a leak.
Great. So what do you want to hear about, The Witness or Metal Gear Solid 5?
Either.
I've watched a lot of Metal Gear Solid 5, so
I can only talk about one.
I'd rather hear about The Witness versus MGS5.
I thought I got mad at League of Legends, but there are some puzzles in The Witness that have made me tear out bits of hair and throw things. It's a wonderful game. You're on an island
Why? Because you're going
thing,
bald?
and you go up to these terminals and you solve line puzzles. It starts off just like move point A to point B, solved. And then it adds on beyond that. There's different sections of this island, and each has sort of like a theme of how the puzzles should be solved. And you find like the first terminal you come up to and try to solve it. It's usually pretty simple, and then it evolves and eventually teaches you schemes for how to solve the puzzles, and as they get progressively more difficult. And you may need to go from one part of the island to another part to learn the technique for how to solve a specific puzzle, and then
Oh gosh.
come back to it and move it off. But it's like in a wonderful setting. It's very Myst-like.
Oh.
If you guys remember Myst, except all of the
I-
puzzles are the same kind, so you don't have to go do different types. And then
You also do the constellation puzzle or the maze puzzle.
no, it's all just line puzzles on terminals.
And I've
So-
never played Myst, but I think that's the game that has that meme where it's like Myst, the Myst, or what the fuck does this crank do for this other section?
Yeah. So the puzzles are a lot more straightforward than Myst. It's just little terminals that have a line puzzle. Although sometimes you'll walk up to it and go like, "What the fuck is this?" It's just there's like symbols on here that don't mean anything to me. It's like there's just a random orange triangle in this little area. What is that? All I know is how to solve black dot puzzles.
The Witness?
Yeah, but
Okay.
and then the more
That
you
game's
solve,
fucking
it
great.
opens up stuff, and then you get like these giant lasers. You shoot at a mountain, and then you like find audio logs of people talking about like having an existential crisis. It's great.
And you get video logs of people trying to give like motivational speeches and shit. It's weird. Real weird. But it's fun. How long have you spent playing it now? I'm sorry, I missed that whole part of this whole discussion.
Don't worry about it. But I have like graph paper I use for designing Dungeons and Dragons.
I know.
Dungeons, and I
Okay.
cut it all out, and I'm like moving things along, and just like, what is this?
Carrie, see, I'm not crazy, Carrie. This is something I talked about with Carrie.
Yeah, you are.
Janelle came walking in when I was playing it, and she goes, I was scared because I came walking into the room, and you have this big retarded smile on your face. This big retarded smile on your face, and I see paper out, and you've got all these weird symbols drawn on the paper. She goes, I figured you either lost your mind or started a satanic cult. I didn't know which it was, but either way, I wasn't going to stick around and see the outcome.
Yeah, about that point, I turned to Audrey and go, "Who watches the Watchers?"
I'm the one who knocks. But no, it...
I'm knocking, motherfucker! I solved the puzzle! He opened up this magical room full of more puzzles! Great!
Yeah, it's so much fun. Yeah, it's awesome. I love that game. I tried to give it a really, really high score on Action Trip. It got a really high score. But either way, yes, it is exceptional. It's really fun.
It's really good.
It is really good. I'm with you, man. Ross and I agreeing on a game saying that it's really good. I feel like this has got to be some kind of like.
It's just the more I hear about it, like it sounds amazing, but it's
not for you,
me.
Carrie. It's not for you.
Do you like sitting down and solving Sudoku puzzle?
Sudoku.
Sudoku. Sudoku is a catering course?
Yeah, exactly. Come on now.
I
This is
do
not
like-
college's food.
I do like Sudoku, but just when Blake was talking to, but I've heard more than one person say this about drawing stuff on graph paper and cutting it out and been like, no.
Yeah.
I don't got time for that shit.
It's not as crazy as it sounds.
Well, all right. So what I think I kind of hit my point where I was like, I realized, hey, this game is up its own ass, but I'm okay with it. When I solved a puzzle that did literally nothing in the world, but the actual shadows that they casted, it made a pretty picture. It didn't do anything else. It didn't do anything to the progression in the game. It just cast a pretty shadow. That's where I'm like, this game is up its own ass.
It's like a super deep, like, meta puzzle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what is
really
the
touched
witness?
on it.
Mm-hmm. What now?
What is the witness?
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah, it's hard to explain, and I don't really want to talk about it without like spoiling.
I know
the
that
game.
there's like a top of a mountain that I have to go to that does.
You're trying to fire all
I'm
of the
still busy
layers.
walking around shooting lasers at it.
I'll
Yeah.
ask you in work chat then tomorrow,
Okay, fair enough.
because I won't.
We can make that happen.
But there's like these little audio logs that they just talk about.
The weirdest, yeah, it's
Just don't. It's just like, oh my god, stop! I'm gonna turn on pro wrestling instead. Ah, there we go.
when they
Now
started,
they're talking sense.
yeah, when they started talking about the plight of the believer, and they didn't define what they were believers of. That's where I just kind of went.
It's like,
Fucking
no,
really
no,
hard.
no, no! Roman Reigns is gonna kick Triple H's ass. But as part of the WWE universe, we don't want Roman Reigns to be successful because he's just like a make-believe The Rock that they propped up. He can't cut a good promo. Really, we want Triple H to win, even though he's the bad guy and part of the Authority.
Carrie,
Hmm?
can I just like hang up on him? Just make him stop.
It's almost time
I
for
kinda zoned out.
WrestleMania,
I
guys.
was like captivated by his like movement and zoned his voice right out.
You went full on epileptic with him. You're just
Yeah.
like, "Meh, shiny things." Just kind of sit there and lose your mind. So good. It's like watching a wrestling match. Just kind of sit there, lose your mind, and wait to see what happens at the end. Either way, it's decided.
Well, I mean,
before
we
you
know
ever
all of
get to
the ending because that was leaking.
Yeah, of
At the
course.
time, but
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
the problem
yeah.
is like all the good ones are retiring, and then it's just the bad ones. And Vince McMahon's totally ruining the business. But guys, guess what? Shane O'Mac is back, and he's gonna fight the Undertaker to Hell in a Cell for control of Raw.
Carrie, help me. Help me.
Vince
help
is
me.
so upset that he wrote Shane O'Mac
Stop
out of the
it!
will.
Fucking
Anything
Ross.
happens, I don't care.
Ross, stop it. Just fucking stop it.
I
See?
know people really like wrestling, but
The
I'm
Witness
not
is a
one of them.
fantastic game. It's very
It is.
artsy.
It's really fun, yes. Yes.
Mom, dude, the crap.
Mm-hmm, yes. Mm-hmm. Pretentious to the end.
Blake,
Yes,
what have you been playing? You've just been
Hmm.
playing that Division game, right?
Well, I have been playing the Division, yes. However, probably the game that I've spent the most time with in the last month or so, it's probably Far Cry Primal. That game is really fun. It is a lot of fun. And apparently it steals the fucking map from Far Cry 4? Is that
Yeah.
what I was reading?
Yeah.
Yeah, it uses the same map.
I mean,
Great.
it uses the same exterior map.
Yeah,
and
like,
maybe
like
like
the, Topographical, yeah.
Right. Well, I don't even know that it does topographical, like, in terms of the actual elevation as much as just, like, it's all shaped the same?
It actually showed it's all...
What about the caves? Does it have all the same caves?
I don't remember there being caves really in Far Cry 4, but it's been a long time.
Far Cry 4, like, one of the first, like, moments where he, like, does drugs and they kind of, like, mess with his mind. It's a cave sequence, which is interesting because... Was that Far Cry 3? Oh, that's right. I haven't played Far Cry 4. That was Far Cry 3. Sorry, my bad. Sorry.
I don't remember this. This doesn't look similar at all.
Well, right, I haven't played 4.
So
okay.
okay.
Well,
That makes sense.
You know, if that's really what they did, okay, but
cares?
apparently they did it in a way, though, that you really couldn't tell that it was exactly the same.
It took over a week for people to discover it.
Well, it's only because of an aerial view. They were like, wait a second.
Right.
That was it. But the world is so inherently different and everything that, you know.
Yeah. In fact, I think they would have probably gotten away with it for even longer, except the fact that
for those meddling kids.
Well,
and
no,
your damn dog too.
Well, the thing was, they had a special edition of the console version that of Far Cry 4 and of Primal that both had the same map that they released with it, the overlay map, and a lot of people literally went, "Wait a minute," and they reached into their box and they literally overlapped the two of them, and it was just like a stencil of one over the other. So they went, "Oh, okay, something's up here." So, yeah, I mean, I get it. However, honestly,
I don't care.
Yeah, and based off of what I heard from other people, and this was well after my review had posted, a lot of people said you wouldn't know it unless you were specifically looking for it.
Right.
Yeah. And you know, Far Cry 4, it had pretty much all of the different extremes geographically the same way that they do in Primal, except honestly in Far Cry 4 it doesn't really have as much of an effect because you have all the technology aspects of it.
Right,
In Far Cry Primal, it fundamentally changes the way that you play the game, because if you're not geared up, you don't have like extra clothing that you can go into the wilderness. All of a sudden, you're having to run through the wilderness, otherwise you're going to stop and turn yourself into a popsicle. You have to worry about the elements. All of a sudden, you go from being the top of the food chain to the bottom of the fucking food chain. It is a completely different experience than what I've had in prior Far Cry games.
I've heard
it's fun.
that it is so much better than everyone expected.
Absolutely.
Because even Urash likes it, and that's kind of amazing. Because he was like, "How can you have Far Cry without guns? This game is gonna be so stupid." And he started playing it, and he loves it.
It works. It works as a Far Cry game because if you can disconnect the whole heavy artillery aspect from the game and just more focus on, hey, it's about capturing areas, campfires, and like the what is it? It's not the fortresses. It's the what are they called in Far Cry 3 and 4? Towers, capturing towers and all that stuff. Going through and doing the side environmental missions, and then also leveling up your character for getting special abilities. I mean, that's about it. And then you also
it uses the Ubisoft open world formula.
Right, exactly. It's the exact. It really is. It's kind of they've got their own little special thing going on there, and it works. It works really well. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's the best thing I've ever played, because that's not it. It's got some functional issues with the game itself. It's pretty repetitive, and granted, it is a game set in, it before any technology was a thing. So obviously your arsenal is extremely limited, and the capabilities that it provides you and the variety it provides you is pretty low. So it's like eventually you find like, oh, hey, here's the formula that you want to follow for killing each type of guy, and then it's just repeating that over and over again. Yes, I realize that that's the same thing you're doing in a Far Cry 4 game, but with that you have explosions. This, not so much.
He still has a GPS though, so.
He does, kind of. Well, he's got a GPS if you choose to use it.
Did you get this on PC so you can mod in having guns later?
No. The review copy I got was on it was Xbox One, right? I think it was Xbox.
They should just release some DLC with guns.
But either way,
with guns.
I honestly though, the one thing that I did find interesting is if it truly does share the same map with Far Cry 4, it makes me wonder if originally this was viewed as a Blood Dragon expansion to that game, and eventually they realized that there was enough content in it that they could spin it off and turn it into its own game.
It could have been, and
again, I wouldn't fault them for doing that, because the amount of content that this game has totally justifies it. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed my time playing the game. And fortunately, I enjoyed my time with it because I'm going to have to come back to it more for Strategy Guide Reviews, where I'm doing the guide review. Which, by the way, Carrie, I see you guys do video reviews most of the time. Am I doing video reviews now?
Maybe we should talk about this after the podcast.
I'm sorry. I just realized, it just got hit me. I was like, maybe I should ask about that. Okay. All right, never mind. Sorry. My bad. Disregard me. But either way, Far Cry Primal.
Done.
It's a lot of fun.
And let's move on.
I still have 2 copies of Far Cry Primal I need to mail out.
Yeah, you have copies for days.
Copies of Far Cry for days!
Yeah, Ross, do you have Far Cry Primal yet?
Oh, they've already been claimed.
Damn it. I tried, Ross. I tried. I put forth the effort, man.
Carrie, don't send me that game.
Why not?
I like how he
it.
even looks up. So he is actually on the video is looking up.
He
at
goes
Carrie's.
full on Brady Bunch.
Yeah,
he knows exactly where he
Hey,
is.
Ross, it's already been claimed.
Oh, there you go.
Perfect.
Center square for the win.
Yeah, because when I got the codes, I got the Xbox One and PS4 codes, so I decided to give Blake the Xbox One code, and I would keep the PS4.
Mhm.
But then FedEx showed up at my house and brought
With all
2
of the
physical
copies.
copies of PS4 and Xbox One. So I was like, okay, well, I'll give Udrosh the PS4 code, and I'll just keep the PS4 copy, and I was going to give Jen Bozier Xbox One copy. And then my doorbell rang again half an hour later, and it was FedEx again with another set of copies.
Okay, that had to
Far
have
Cry
been a
Primal.
mistake. That
It
had to have
wasn't.
been a mistake.
Because I talked to some people, and they said, yeah, we got 6 copies as well.
What the?
They really
Okay.
want people to play the
They
game.
really do. Yeah, they really wanted some press for this game, which I mean, it's fun. It's a good time. Now, it did raise another question for me though. You guys think they're getting away from like Assassin's Creed? They get away from the numbers? They just go in like subtitle Far Cry : Da.
Oh, I don't know.
Because I mean, Assassin's Creed, that's what they did. They got away from the numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, it would make sense at this point because they've done something completely different with the series now. So, yeah, maybe.
Maybe this is just, a step in a different direction, and then they'll go back and they'll do a Far Cry 5 in a couple of years.
I was about to say I would really like a Far Cry Industrial Revolution, but I realized that's pretty much Assassin's Creed, so really maybe
That's
not
called
so
Assassin's
much.
Creed Syndicate.
Yeah,
It was a great
that's
game.
kind of what I was thinking.
You should
Yeah,
play
it's
it.
a
Just in
great
first
game.
person.
It's like one of the best Assassin's Creed games.
So I've heard.
It's my second favorite,
Really?
Behind Black Flag.
behind Brotherhood.
Yeah. Come on now.
I never played Black Flag. I don't have
Black
an
Flag
opinion.
was great.
I mean, who doesn't love pirates, right?
I don't like sailing.
You don't have to. You have a whole crew that does it for you. You just steer.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Oh.
it's not like if you're on Connect, you've got to sit there and row. I mean, you're not having to do that. Honest.
I hated the sailing in Assassin's Creed 3. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Fair enough. Because it does do a
Like,
lot of
You
borrowing
get your
from
guys to sing.
that. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
It's wonderful.
Okay. All right. Who do I need to hand this off to next? Is that it? Am I the end?
Yeah, we
You're it.
are
Carrie.
done. I think we need to wrap this up. This has been almost 2 hours. So,
It's been an hour
Yeah.
38 minutes.
okay.
Not that anyone.
Yeah.
Not that
exactly.
I'm watching the
Hey,
counter
that's-
to make sure that we're still recording. But Carrie, take us home.
I mean, that's actually pretty good for us, but let's go ahead and wrap this up. So we thank you so much for watching and or listening to us. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel or to our podcast on iTunes so that you can get these every time we post something into your inbox every week. Of course, we still do the video reviews. Chris has his unboxings. I do my Why Should You Buy strategy guides. There's all kinds of awesome content on the YouTube channel. And you can follow us all on Twitter. Blake. I'm afraid
I'm
which way to
echoing to the
point. Because I think I'm going to point wrong.
I'm
Blake.
down under Chris.
I know, but like everything's like opposite. So it's
Yep.
like all
So
turned around.
so just point at Ross and then point the opposite or the diagonal from there. Yeah, there you go. I think that's it,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
Point at
that's
Ross.
Right. That's right.
And then point at the opposite.
Yeah, okay, this is actually, but this opposite on my,
Dan.
on my, but from what I'm looking at, it's opposite. So
Okay, fair enough.
anyway,
Very meta.
Blake
Yes.
is at
Hey,
Grundy the Man.
if it makes you
Chris
feel better-
is at
On the right-hand side, it has all of our names listed with our Twitter things.
Oh yeah, it's
So
got all that
all
cool
you gotta
stuff
do
there.
is say is Blake is at
Well,
Grubby
if they're
the Man.
listening, Chris,
Chris is at Starvin, and Ross, I can get Ross. Ross is at Greedy Raven, and I am at Chocobo, and the site is at Strategy. Of course, we ask you to keep on reading at strategyguidereviews.com every day, and we thank you so much. And Chris, do you want to follow up with what you always say?
I was waiting for Blake or Ross to chime in before I did anything.
Join in the conversation on our subreddit.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't have a subreddit.
Just-
Shut up.
Make one up.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
join
I'm
us
sure you
there
can do
for
that.
conversation.
Yeah, of
Join
course.
us
That's
at-
what the kids do.
We'll be
join
down in
us
the
on
comments for the hour after this post.
That's what those 20-somethings do. Just
So
talk on the
go ahead and join us on
subreddits.
our subreddit /r Lotion in the Pit. And with that,
Ew.
we'd like to remind
Ew.
you, don't be a
Gross.
dick on the internet.
Don't go to
unless
that.
you're being
Don't
a
go to
dick.
Unless you're Ross, then it's okay.
unless you're gonna go ahead and be a dick to Blake, because we all do that. So it's just like the internet punching bag at this point. So no, really, don't be a dick to Blake either, because I will actually maybe, if you pay me, Blake, step up
Aw.
to go ahead and defend you. But with that, just
Thank you,
remember,
Chris. I appreciate
don't
that.
be a dick on the internet. We all play video games. It doesn't matter. PC, Wii U, Wii, Nintendo, whatever you're playing on. Just enjoy it. It's video games. Just stop being a dick on the internet. And with that, we're out. Peace.